Hello and welcome to Howzzat. Good morning to you and good morning to you too, Vijay. It's nice to have you back here on Howzzat one more time.
Yeah, good morning. And there's a lot to talk today.
Disappointing game, but very heartening to see young Shubman Gill play the way he did. Very mature, very sound approach to the chase, but he did really well to bat through the innings and see Kolkata Knight Riders home comfortably.
Yes, I think disappointing for Sunrisers Hyderabad, but Kolkata Knight Riders had everything going for them. They had planned better and they executed better. So they're shaping up well, and many lessons to be taken home from this game.
Vijay, I was particularly impressed with how Kolkata Knight Riders bounced back from that big defeat of theirs. It seemed a very different team, very purposeful on the field, very smart bowling changes, the right choice of bowlers at the start of the inning, particularly with Pat Cummins coming with the new ball, and Dinesh Karthik leading pretty well when Sunrisers Hyderabad opted to bat first.
Oh yes, and probably Dinesh Karthik was the busiest man on the field because, like you said, affecting all those bowling changes, using them very smartly, field placements again in place. He had studied the batsman very well. So I mean, there must be a whole think tank behind all those moves, not just Dinesh Karthik, but on the field you have to be in control, and he was absolutely in control. And like you pointed out, the bowling attack. I think yes, Gill got the runs, but you have to give credit to the KKR bowlers for having set it up.
We look at the bowling attack. Very obviously, Pat Cummins came back into his own after a disappointing game previously. He came back and bowled brilliantly. Took a wicket early on, put pressure on the Hyderabad team, and then of course Varun Chakravarti and Nagarkoti, both of them being included in this game and doing well for their side.
Yes, both Mavi and Nagarkoti can and learn a lot from watching Pat Cummins. I mean, he was bowling as if he was bowling in a test match. If you see the length he bowled, he was not rattled by the reputation of the batsman, and that's what Cummins is. After having gone for runs in the first match, look at how he's come back so strongly. So that is a sign of a good competitor, and he was able to motivate the other bowlers. And especially if you see the big wicket he got, that probably also set the course for the game.
Johnny Bairstow's wicket, yes, it pushed them back on the back foot. And then it was up to David Warner and Manish Pandey to get the score up to a defendable proportion. But unfortunately for Hyderabad, it was not. But let us stick with a little bit more with Pat Cummins because he was an outstanding bowler last night. The 2 years that I spent with Delhi Daredevils, I saw Moni Mokkal prepare Vijay. He would, for an afternoon game, he would get to the gym by noon, work very hard, and then would not speak with too many people on the way to the ground, and then would go and deliver the 4 best possible overs. I'm sure Pat Cummins, his pride was at stake after that first game where he went for plenty. Must have worked really hard before the game, preparing himself. And like you said, he was steaming in like he was in a test match.
Yeah, that's the sign of a good bowler. I mean, even I remember having watched him in his early years of Test cricket. He looked a very different bowler, and here also he's wanting to take wickets. So that is he's so different from the rest. He doesn't believe in containing the batsman, and you can't always be looking to contain the batsman. You have to put pressure by taking early wickets, and he did his job exceptionally well. I mean, normally you would have bowlers in T20 who would like to contain and what they say in Hindi, bachne wali ball. But he's not the one to bowl the bachne wali ball. He was on target, wanting to take wickets. He did take, and it made a huge impact on the game because Bairstow could have been a very very handy customer But credit to Cummins. He's come back very strongly and he's going to be the bowler to watch.
After Bairstow got out, it was up to David Warner to bat through the innings. Uh, he was foxed by Varun Chakravarti. They called him the mystery spinner. A couple of years ago, he picked up a huge pay packet. King Eleven Punjab had outbid everybody because they thought he was going to be a big mystery spinner. Played one game, had a finger injury, and then missed out the rest of the season. But this seemed a pretty strong comeback. We had not heard much of Varun Chakravarti, but he made an impression last night, picking up that wicket of David Warner and ensuring that Kolkata Knight Riders would stay ahead of the Hyderabad team.
Yeah, you're talking about the big buy. Even cricketers in Tamil Nadu were really shocked when he fetched such a huge price. But Varun, there is a lot of talk about his mystery. I'm sure teams are going to work with the video analyst and try and look what how much of mystery he has. I mean, it's going to be challenging for Varun now. Having taken Warner's wicket, there will be pressure on him to perform. Expectations will grow with every game. But the mystery part, I mean, he will have to bowl the normal ball. If you bowl, you can't be always bowling googlies unless you bowl the traditional leg spin. So here, pressure will be on Varun. He will be the marked bowler, and I'm sure there will be strategies where some batsmen will be put in charge to go after him.
But let's move on to the Hyderabad batting, Vijay. You got to see Manish Pandey get a half century and then Riddhiman Saha get 30 runs. But I think that was the phase in which Hyderabad did not consolidate it, did not build on the stand that Manish Pandey and David Warner had got. But I think by that time itself, the match was slipping away from Hyderabad.
I have nothing against Riddhiman Saha. I've always considered him a fantastic test wicket keeper. I mean, in first class cricket in India, he's been an outstanding wicket keeper for many years because it's very difficult to keep wickets in India. But Saha at number 4, I mean, I don't know. I'm not very impressed with this kind of batting lineup. And Sunrisers is dependent on the top 3, the first 3 batsmen. If one of them doesn't click, they're going to face pressure in every game. So they will have to find a way out. So one batsman will have to try and bat out at least till the 15 overs, and then maybe leave it to the middle order and tailenders. But Saha coming in at number 4 is a sad commentary on Sunrisers Hyderabad's batting lineup.
At the press conference last night, Vijay, David Warner was asked about the fact that Saha walked into bat ahead of Mohammad Nabi. And then, of course, David Warner has this defense. Let's what he has to say.
Well, no, not at all. I think you have to put a genuine batsman in. When I got out, you've got to try and build a partnership. It's easy to say send a pinch hitter in or whatnot, but you've got to generate some momentum. At that stage, obviously, with myself getting out, we tried to build a partnership again. It was just unfortunate that they bowled well. They pulled their length back. We were unable to hit the boundaries. They executed well, so there's not really much you can say about that. Look, I don't know where it went wrong. It's just we just can't be having 2 batsmen on the bench and batting 20 overs. We could have went a little bit harder through the middle period. I think we played 4 or 5 overs there in the middle after I got out for 20 runs. We've got to try and have a bit more, apply a bit more pressure to the bowlers and try and hit more boundaries in that middle period. I think the thing I'm disappointed more about is the dots. I think there was 35, 36 dot balls, which in 2020 cricket, it's not acceptable.
In fact, there were as many as 40 of them in the Sunrisers innings. 40 dot balls, Vijay. That is 6 overs and 4 deliveries. That's a hell of a lot, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, no coach will allow that. It's very irritating if you don't rotate the strike. And it's the basic of cricket. When you rotate the strike, it's the bowler under pressure. The ball, he has to think differently for different batsmen. Every ball, if he has to bowl to a new batsman, it becomes a challenge. So here it is a point of worry, but yeah, maybe one-off game for Sunrisers Hyderabad. They would look to improve in the coming matches. But so many dead dot balls in a T20 game is unacceptable.
Let's watch what David Warner had to say about how he took responsibility for Sunrisers Hyderabad not getting to 160, 170 score. That would have been par for the course last night.
Obviously, it was a very soft and poor dismissal from myself, which we were just getting started and we were about to press the button and start going on. So I don't blame anyone. I take full responsibility for myself for not batting out the overs and getting a soft dismissal.
Vijay will stick with the dot balls premise for a little bit longer. There were 36 dot balls when Kolkata Knight Riders chased that score. But I think they could afford the 36 dot balls basically because they knew what the target was.
Yeah, Gill is like we discussed in the preview of the game. He is going to make a huge impact.
Vijay, you took this initiative of getting KP Bhaskar, a brilliant batsman in his time, a Delhi captain, and then now a wonderful batting coach as well. He has been a mentor to Shubman Gill. Let's watch what KP Bhaskar has to say.
With both teams losing their first match, a keenly contested game was expected, but turned out to be a disappointing one. SRH is too heavily dependent on the top three. Even though Manish Pandey got a brilliant 50, it wasn't sufficient enough with both Bairstow and Warner getting out cheaply. KKR, on the other hand, went in with a lot of Indian youngsters. Chakravarti happened to be the find of the match. Both Nagakoti and Mavi bowled brilliantly, and there was an outstanding performance from Shubman Gill. What a matured innings that was. Anchored the whole KKR innings. Went in a very professional manner. It's a matter of time that we find him in the Indian team very soon.
I remember 2 years ago, I watched his double hundred at Mohali, and he constructed that innings like a very matured batsman, and that's what we saw last night. He was so matured.
That was a very good partnership to watch, Vijay. I think one of the highlights of the game was how Shubman Gill and Morgan complemented each other.
It's very important for any opener. If you're set there, it's your duty to see your team through. And I think the plan was simple. If I was there to get set, I have to see my team through. And the total wasn't that big, so it was important for me to stay there. And as a batting unit, I think we all did well.
A young player with so much maturity augurs well for Indian cricket. He must be one of the brightest young prospects who we have not seen much in terms of international cricket, in terms of being talked about as an international prospect. But he seems a very, very good prospect to back.
It's a very good prospect and someone who's been groomed by Yuvraj Singh now in Punjab. Of course, there's Abhishek Sharma also about who Yuvraj speaks very highly. But remember, Gill was under the influence of Rahul Dravid. So anyone who has someone like Rahul Dravid guiding, he must have taught him the best principles, the best technique of batting, which you can see in Gill's performance. He is absolutely comfortable at the crease. I don't think I have seen him in the two. He's played two one-day internationals, but domestic cricket, he's hardly seen being hustled into playing a ball. So that is a hallmark of a good batsman.
Shubman Gill, of course, showing maturity and learning in that partnership, playing a very, very good hand for Kolkata Knight Riders. But Hyderabad bowling was a bit disappointing, was it? As David Warner said at the end of the game, Hyderabad known to defend scores of 140 or 130. And it was a little surprising that the bowlers did not seem to exercise the kind of control they usually do on the opposing batsmen.
If you look at the game, look at the variety which KKR has, the variety of bowlers and how each bowler was used. You had three bowlers who bowled their full quota, but there were others used very sparingly, two overs each, and at different points. So here, I think captaincy also comes into play. The team think tank also comes into play, and to me, probably KKR has the best variety of bowling in this tournament. They have the fast bowlers and they have the spinners.
The outcome of this game has left Hyderabad at the bottom of the table. It is the only side without a win after two matches. Kolkata Knight Riders has moved a couple of places up in the order. Tonight's game, Vijay, will be another interesting one. I hope it doesn't continue the string of disappointing games. Like you said, some of these matches tend to die very early and not cause any excitement. And Kings 11 looks good very strong outfit under Anil Kumble and KL Rahul this time.
Kings 11 is on a roll. I mean, KL Rahul has set the tempo, and I'm sure this game again the focus will be on him. The way he batted in the last game, a lot would depend on how Rajasthan Royals batting performs because led by Steve Smith, I expect this to be a close contest because both teams have some exceptionally good batsmen.
It will be a good game, definitely, Vijay, and let's hope that it turns out to be a better contest than we have seen in the last 3 or 4 games.
Yes, hopefully. I think all the people sitting on a Sunday in front of the television sets, they probably deserve a good game.
I will catch up with you tomorrow, Vijay. Thank you very much for your time. It's been fun having this conversation.
Oh yes, I enjoyed it too. Thank you.
As always, you're welcome to share feedback. In fact, we would love it. Vijay has said either you like us or slam us, but do give us feedback. We would like to know what you think about the kind of content that you're getting in our videos. You can write to us at circleofsport@gmail.com, or you could follow us on Twitter and let us know what you think. The Twitter handle, of course, is Circle of S. It is not Circle of Sport, but it is Circle of S. And then you can let us know what you think. Or obviously, you can comment here on YouTube and let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you and keep improving.